All right, so this is a gas metal arc welding machine. The way it works, inside there you got a spool of wire, right? And you've got a ground lead, and it has to be connected to either the metal that you're welding on or something that's metal that's touching the metal that you're welding. So like this table right here, it's all metal. So we can take the ground, hook it to that vise right there, and because that's metal, your table's metal, and your piece is metal, electricity is just gonna flow through there. All right, so on-off switch is right here. And this is the gun. When you pull this trigger right here, there's a motor right there that feeds the wire through and pushes it all the way through this liner, and it comes out right here on this contact tip. So this is the nozzle. And the way that works, you've got gas right here, but you need to have that gas on. Turn it on right there. This gauge tells you how much is in there. That gauge tells you how much is coming out. All right. So when you pull that trigger, two things happen. One, the wire comes out, but also that gas flows through this hose and out these little holes right here in the diffuser, and then is forced out the nozzle right there to protect the weld while you're welding. Molten metal, it doesn't like oxygen. So this gas is 75% argon, 25% carbon dioxide, and there's different mixes for different types of welding, but for what we're doing, that's what we want to use. And it displaces all the oxygen out of the way and protects the weld. All right, so we're going to be welding for your little piece. You're going to be welding, it's 1/8 inch thick. So what we're going to do, and this doesn't have 1/8 inch up here. All right, so what we have to go by, 12 gauge is pretty close to 1/8 inch thick. So the things you got to know to be able to set this, first you got to know what type of gas we're using. So I just said we're using 75-25, okay? Then the next thing you've got to know, you got to know what diameter wire that you're using, and what we're using is 035 diameter wire. All right, so we know that, we know we're welding on 1/8, which is close to 12 gauge. So I come over here, I'll go over 12 gauge, 18.5 is the voltage, and then we got to have the wire speed. You got to have a perfect combination of wire speed and voltage. So 18.5 and 180. So I go over here, I go to 18.5, and I go to 180 because there's the voltage, there's the wire speed, and that wire speed is just how fast the wire's coming out. All right, so we got everything set. Now, that's not the Bible, like I said. It's just a starting point. All right, you're not always going to, and for tacking, like when you go to tack your piece together, you want to, you usually want to have it a little bit hotter. So I typically would go, instead of setting it for just the tacking, instead of 12 gauge, we'd go to 3/16. I'd usually just go up one setting hotter for the tacking, and then when I go to weld it together, I go back down to where it needs to be welded. You just usually want it a little bit hotter to tack. So let's go over here, we'll change it back. 3/16 would be, all right, change it to 225. Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, 225 on the wire speed and 19 on the voltage. All right, we got it set, you ready to go?